Question number 8 shows that in a chicken farm, got 100,000 of the bird, okay, and 1,000 of them die of the influenza. Okay, so by looking at these questions, the question is asking for carrier of the recessive gene. Okay, so carrier of the recessive gene will means that it is asking for heterozygous. Yeah, for heterozygous. Yeah, because carrier will means that carry the recessive gene, but then not expressing, yeah, the recessive trait. Yeah, so that's why carrier is considered as a heterozygous. Okay, so if let's say they are asking for number, asking for frequency of the heterozygous, then we can know that this question is actually related to the population genetic. Yeah, so population genetic. Okay, so this question also relate to the frequency of the heterozygous. So meaning what? Meaning that you have to deal with the 2PQ. Yeah, because heterozygous is 2PQ. Yeah. So we have to solve this question using the type 3 method. Yeah, the type 3 method. Okay. So now based on the info, total population is 100,000. Yes, 100,000 chicken. So 1,000 die because of influenza. Okay, so it assumes that the resistant gene is actually dominant. Yeah, the resistant gene is dominant. Yeah, so that means that those 1,000 chicken that they die, they are not resistant. So if they are not resistant, so that means that these must be the recessive one. Yeah, the recessive trait. So they are the recessive one. Okay, so with that, we have the number. Yeah, we have the number already. Okay, so these homozygous recessive chicken are the one that die. Yeah? So 1,000 of them. So with that, we now know that total individual of the non-resistant, the recessive one, the recessive chicken, okay, is 1,000. So that means that, yeah, these are all the individual with the homozygous recessive. Okay, so that's why we can put Q square equals to 1,000, which is homozygous recessive. So we divide with the total population. So total population is 100,000. 100,000. So we will do the calculation. So it's 1 over 100. Because if you cut 3, yeah, so it's 1 over 100, yeah. Okay, so 1 over 100 means that this is 0.01, yeah, 0.01. So with that, we can find out the Q. Q is equals to square root of 0.01. So that would be 0.1. Okay, so now we can apply the formula P plus Q equals to 1, yeah. So based on this, P plus Q equals to 1. So P plus 0.1 would be equals to 1. So P would be 1 minus 0.1, which is 0.9. Okay, so we know the P is 0.9, Q is 0.1. Okay, so 0.9 P, this is the allele frequency, yeah? P is the frequency of the dominant allele, not the individual, yeah? Q is the frequency of the recessive allele. It's not the individual, it's the allele frequency. Okay, so Q square is the individual, the frequency of the homozygous recessive individual. Okay, so now we know P, we know Q. So can we find the frequency of the heterozygous individual? Of course, yes. Because why? Because the frequency of the heterozygous is 2PQ. The frequency of the individual with heterozygous genotype is 2PQ. Okay, so that's why, yeah, we can find this frequency. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, frequency of the carrier. Okay, frequency of the carrier, since the question is asking for carrier, right? So frequency of the carrier actually means frequency of the heterozygous. Okay, so that's why, yep. because carrier, it means that, yeah, those individual that carry the recessive allele but not showing the recessive trait. Yeah, so it must be heterozygous. Yeah, it must be heterozygous. So frequency of the carrier would be 2 PQ. So it means that 2 times P is 0.9 here. Yeah, P is 0.9. Yeah, while Q is 0.1. Q is 0.1. Okay, so we times that. 2 times 0.1, 0.9, then times 0.1, that would be 0.18. So this is a frequency, but the question is asking for number. How many chicken in the farm are carrier? Okay, so to get the number, we will take the frequency. Okay, so number of the carrier equals to, so we'll take the frequency times the total population. So total population is 100,000. Okay, so we times that, it would be total 18,000. Okay, so that would be the number of the carrier in the farm. 18,000. That's the final answer.